What's up, guys? Hope you guys are having an amazing day today. This is a quick video of my top 5 business podcasts for 2019. Here we go. So we got our first podcast coming in at number 5, and it is the Stanley Leadership Podcast. I just came across this podcast maybe a couple months ago, and one of the things I just love about it is the way Stanley just makes things so simple. He is super good at simplifying everything, and I feel that's so important. I've listened to so many podcasts where there's a lot of good information, but as soon as it starts getting a little complex, you don't end up remembering what you heard. And so that's the one reason why I love Stanley, is he just breaks everything down to stuff that you can remember and that you can actually use, which is so important. So that's my number 5 podcast. Check it out, Stanley Leadership Podcast. So the podcast coming in at number 4 is Kwik Brain by Jim Kwik. I absolutely love this podcast. It is all about improving your memory, your minds, all kinds of brain hacks. It is super useful, super beneficial, super smart guy, interviews just amazing people. Definitely recommend it. Check it out. It is awesome. I love the one takeaway that I had from one of his episodes where he said, if you could learn just one thing, what would it be that you learned? And he was saying the smartest answer to that is learning how to learn. Because if you learn how to learn, you can learn anything you want. And so that's what this podcast is about, is just learning how to learn better. And yeah, definitely recommend it. Check it out. It comes in at number 4. Enjoy it. So one of my favorite business podcasts coming in at number 3 is the Edmylett Show. Just came across the show a couple months ago. Absolutely loving it. It is an interviewing podcast. So he's interviewing a bunch of people, a bunch of entrepreneurs, business leaders, athletes, you name it. And one of the biggest reasons why I love this podcast is just how engaged and how passionate Edmylett is. You definitely got to hear it to know what I'm talking about. But he's just an overall, all-around solid guy. And he's just an amazing interviewer. So I definitely recommend checking it out, the Edmylett Show. So one of my favorite podcasts coming in at number 2 is the EntreLeadership Podcast. It is hosted by a guy named Ken Coleman. It is by the Ramsey Solutions Company. Incredible podcast. They have some amazing interviews on there. They got an awesome Christian background, and they're just very high level thinkers. And they interview just people from the top companies, top businesses, super successful people. And I've learned a lot just kind of learning how those people at the very top are thinking, what they're learning, what they're pursuing, what they're focusing on. So definitely check it out, the EntreLeadership Podcast. Definitely worth it. So my all-time favorite podcast coming in at number 1 is Success Resource Podcast. This may seem a little biased because the interviewer is the legend, my bro, Jake Nicole, but I really do love this podcast. Jake is an incredible interviewer. He asks those questions that you really want to know, and that's why I love this podcast, because it just goes straight to the point. It's very direct, and it's just shares those highlights of exactly what you want to know. There's other podcasts where it gets into the story and the background of the people, and that's all good, but sometimes you just want to pop on a podcast and you really want to find out those highlights, those things that you can use and apply to your life. Exactly, interviewing successful people and finding out, how did you get there? What did you do wrong? What were your mistakes? And what do you recommend other people doing to get to where you are? And so that's why I love the podcast. You get so much good information in such a short period of time, and it goes straight to the point. So definitely check it out. It is awesome. But anyways, that's my top 5 podcasts for 2019. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want to see more, make sure you subscribe and like the video, comment below, and let me know what other kind of videos you guys want to see. You guys are amazing. Love you guys. God bless you guys. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.